Hey guys and gals, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be talking about Larry Lawton's program. Like, it's reaching a success rate like unbelievable, because like, you know how they used to use the Scared Straight program and all that, to try to rehabilitate kids there in the United States. Now they're using Larry. A lot of them are switching to Larry Lawton's program because it's like bringing it way down. Like it was 80% re-offending rate. It might still be that, because I don't know, I haven't checked recently, but that's what it was, I think, before Larry Lawton's program. And you can see that's why he's becoming like such a big YouTuber. If you don't know who he is, I'll put him up on the screen there. Yeah, it's friggin' insane. Like, I'll basically show you like 2-3 minutes of this video he did. 30-minute video there. He did interviewing one of the people who were involved in his programs. And this is freaking crazy, man. Like, you definitely want to watch the whole video. There's a lot of more things in it. Like, it's friggin' literally, I'll explain one story, for example. Apparently, this person, like, literally friggin' did opiates as a kid. It's friggin' insane. And still managed to get out of that and build a decent life. It's like, and it's really crazy. Like, that this person's definitely very strong to outcome odds big time. Because usually, like, that's the problem. Like, with the state's justice system involved in that, Canada's got a lot of problems with certain things too. Like for example, like, they make, like, I seen some people who were prescribed on insulin, and when they start to get to their senior ages, they're literally spending $2,000 a month for insulin, because they literally charge more on it. The more the insulin goes up, the more they charge. $2,000 a month. And the problem with that is, even like, that's literally going to incentivize people not to work and go on welfare, because if they're on welfare, they won't have to pay a damn thing for it, because they'll automatically get coverage. But if they're working, they're going to be paying $2,000 a month. Like, I can't believe Canada's that stupid with that. Like, do they not realize that people who are on insulin or any medication are going to be more incentivized to stay on welfare rather than work? Because in the States doesn't have that problem, because a lot of friggin' jobs have some kind of coverage program for that. Like, that problem doesn't even develop in the UK. The UK, it's got this certain law where they have like a limit to how much they can charge for medication, and insulin would be $20 for a whole month's prescription, no matter what dose you're on. It's still $20. They don't raise the price because of the dose. In Canada, they do, and that can end up being $2,000 a month for someone just needing just someone on a medication that they need to stay alive too. Like, that is just frigged up. They don't even do that with any other medication. Like, I seen a lot of other medication that people are on. My mom's on certain medication that she's been on her whole life, and never did it go up to that price. even when because I seen the price of it, like when she went off the income assistance temporarily because she had to switch some file or something. So she had to pay for her medication one time, and I seen the price of it. It's literally less than what they charge on insulin, which that's pretty insane. So they're literally especially someone on insulin is going to be more incentivized not to work. Other medications, I'm pretty sure they're not as bad, but they still cost a bit, even more than $20. In the UK, it's got that thing, and in the US, they got coverage plans for people who work. Certain jobs have coverage plans. I seen, there's places, as long as you work there, you get your insulin and any medication covered. Canada, no, does not have that. But Canada is better at the youth justice thing, reinforming kids who end up committing small crimes. Because in the States, well, for a while it's been like this in the States, but it's starting to change now, is that kids would basically end up in an actual jail, and when they would do something petty like shoplifting, come out of jail as a friggin' hardcore, fully criminal gang member. They'll come out like that when they only did something small like shoplifting. Because their rehabilitation system does the opposite. But luckily, this YouTuber literally... Well, he's a YouTuber, he's also been on the news, everything like that there. He's actually, friggin' totally fixing the reform rate. It's friggin' insane. It works Scared Straight program did the opposite. It did not help whatsoever. His is actually fixing. So I'm going to play a few minutes of the video, and then we'll be back with the regular cam. Hey guys and gals, welcome back. I'm going to play a few minutes.
Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a great show. I got Kirsten, a person who went through my program, I think 8 years ago. She's doing well. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Before I get started, check us out on the YouTube member program. Check us out on Patreon. Check out my book, Gangster Redemption, still the hottest book out there. It's a crazy ride as well. Let me welcome Kirsten. Welcome to the show, Kirsten.
Hey, how's it going? I still have a copy of your book sitting on my shelf.
You got a copy of my book on your...
It's the one you gave me 8 years ago.
Wow, that's right when it came out, 2013. So 12 and 13, the book came out. The reason I wanted to bring you on, I think this is a really compelling story. I remember you came to one of my events, one of my bowling events, and you did community service. I gave you community service for helping. And in fact, you were pregnant at the time, if I remember correctly. And you did such a good job. And you were telling us and telling me about a story which happened to me, and people who know that was strapped down. I was strapped down naked, beaten, and tortured by guards, even beat on, spit on.
True, that's the best way of reforming it, is the community service, not throwing them in a hard jail where they're gonna friggin' end up becoming a bigger criminal. It's not gonna...
You were actually put in a restraint chair at the county jail. Tell the people exactly what that was about and what happened.
All right, so I got arrested for DUI. I was very drunk, very belligerent, and I've been through a lot, so I didn't respond very well. I was walking back and forth when they put me in a cell, hitting the walls. I was hurting myself, and they came and put me in the chair. But the way that they did it, it's a little fuzzy. They brought me from the room, and they asked me if I wanted to go into the chair or if I was going to stop. And I said, put me in the chair. I was being my normal snippy, sarcastic self, like, do it, you won't. And so they said, great, it's training day. And they brought all the people that were on the floor. It felt like all of them. There had to be like 9 guards around me. One of them actually got on top of me when I started struggling because I dealt with like a little bit of, it felt really claustrophobic. It felt really uncomfortable once I started actually doing it, and I realized I was going to get restrained in this chair, and it wasn't a joke anymore. It wasn't a do what you won't moment anymore. I freaked out, and she got on top of me and held me down, and they were laughing. They thought it was funny because it was training day. So they took this moment to have an entertaining moment to do this to me. And at the time, I was 100 pounds. I mean, it wasn't really necessary to have multiple people holding me down and to have one guard literally get on top of me in this chair. It would have been sufficient to just put me in the chair. I mean, she really could have done it without restraining me at all. I don't know, it was just
yeah, it's pretty bad. And this is the video anyway, if you want to go check it out. Yeah, I'm going to head back to the regular cam. So yeah, guys and gals, definitely check out the video if you want to see the full video. That was just a few minutes of it, but I told you a little bit of a basis of what the story was about. But there's a lot more other things if you want to get fully detailed. Definitely watch that video. You're not gonna play the whole thing for 30 minutes, man. That just be disrespectful to the creator. But definitely friggin' check it out. It's friggin' insane. Like, that's. I was watched that. I watched Larry Lawton since he was like at like around like 500K or something subs. Now he's at like friggin' 1.16 million subs. So that's quite a bit. 1,016,000 subs. It's friggin' crazy, but he deserves every bit of that. He's literally friggin' making history in the United States with the youth justice system. Because before they were sending kids to that Scared Straight program, and then like didn't really have a Youth Justice Act kind of thing, where they would basically if kids committed like say like crimes like that, or like small things like shoplifting and all that, they don't go to jail or juvie. They have to get sentenced to a certain amount of hours of community service. But in the States, like back a while ago anyway, they're probably changing it in the United States by now. They probably are starting to do that now. Just sentence them to communities, certain amount of hours of community service. But when it was like when that show Cops was out and all that, and there was one where they had a kids segment where they frigging caught a kid shoplifting, and they literally throw him in juvie, sentence him to 10 days in juvie with a bunch of hardened criminal kids. Like, juvie's got more than just frigging small-time offenders and that got caught shoplifting. Juvie's got some kids that frigging like murder people, because there's freaking kids who end up killing someone, and of course they can't go to adult jail, so they're gonna go to juvie until they're grown up, and then they get sentenced in adult jail. But that's the thing. That's the problem with sending kids to juvie for crimes like that. Like, they should only be sentenced to community service. And that ends up turning a small-time offender that shoplift once, and turning them into a hardcore criminal by letting them around people who've friggin' violently assaulted people, their parents, or friggin' insane crimes like murder, stuff like that. They're sending a small-time offender with people like that. That's gonna turn them into a bigger criminal by doing that. But if they do stuff like just sentence to community service for crimes like that, then the kid actually has a chance of rehabilitating. But that was the problem with that system. That's the one thing that Canada does do better, but it does a lot of things worse. Like a lot of things. Like the healthcare thing with the insulin, that's one of them. And the fact that you get less quality of healthcare too. Like say if you want, there's certain treatments that are only available in the US that's not in Canada. Because you get basically a friggin' government rationed healthcare. But not when it comes to medication anyway. But that seems to be the one that's most debt crippling and basically would make you unable to work as insulin. Specifically the type 1 diabetes one, where they have to actually inject insulin there. The type 1 diabetes people have to do that. And type 2 basically only have to take pills and measure their blood. But luckily I never end up type 1 diabetes or something, because that would be the most expensive diabetes to have. Well, not when you're younger, but when you get older, it keeps going up, and then you eventually are at $2,000 a month. But that's why places like the UK have this limit where they're only allowed to charge $20, no matter how high it is. For a month's worth, it's $20. And in the US, they got coverage things in workplaces. But that's a huge problem though. Like, that's even bigger than the Justice Act thing there with, like, that one. Like, the problem with that, it's gonna incentivize, it so incentivizes people who are on that to not work at all. Because who wants to work and get to keep 0% of anything they make? Anyway, guys and gals, there's like a bit of the pros and cons in comparison to the Canadian system. Like, it's got some things better, like, with that remark, but otherwise I can't really think of anything. Otherwise, US provides better Medicare, all that stuff, but but Canada is better than that until Larry Lawton came around, of course. It's probably will be changed to a Canadian kind of youth justice system, which would be good, because I read the numbers. It's like an 80-some percent reoffending rate. So that'd definitely be good to get that down. And he's actually doing it too. Like, he's bringing it down big time. It's insane. But anyway, guys and gals, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter at DangelJohn1, TikTok at DangelPitcher420, and if you feel like donating the channel, either the PayPal donation button, or if you just want to be able to, if you want to get something for your value, use like the StreamYard's referral code or something. You'll get like at least a $10 discount off of your first month, and it'll also be like giving basically gives me StreamYard's funds, like store credit kind of thing, for every person who uses it. So yeah, you wanna, I like StreamYards is definitely the best thing to be using for streaming. If you want to be able to add green screen effects with no problem and all that, it's really good. So that's about it. D'Angelo Pitcher, and I am peacing out.